Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul over here and we're with Philip.
Hello there everyone.
And today we are reacting to The History of Japan by Bill Wurtz.
Yeah, nice.
Bill
I
Wurtz.
was about to say something Japanese. Let me try to
Konnichiwa.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Okay.
I think please, if someone here knows Japanese, please correct me if I say something wrong,
Yeah.
if I did something wrong. And by the way, just let me know what I just said because I don't remember.
So yeah, let's go straight to it. Konnichiwa Nihon, watashi wa Teacher Paul, and Philip. Let's go straight to this. This is The History of Japan. Bill Wurtz is like a legend on YouTube. So let's go. Let's check this out.
Okay, let's go.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's in the year -1 billion, Japan might not have been here. In the year -40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walked to it. Then it got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like stones and bowls.
Wow.
Ding dong. It's the outside world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms. Now you can make a lot of rice really, really quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king.
Yeah, that's important.
Rice farming and rice
I love the
kingdoms spread across
elevations.
the land, all the way to here. The most important kingdoms were here, 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 and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly super person, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door, it's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Biek. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules that came with it. Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more. Hi, China, they said. Hi, dipshit, said China.
Tongue twister.
Something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about sunrise land, said Japan.
Nihon.
And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north finally. Get that squared away. A rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China and learns a better version, which is more spiritual. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be great for a long time.
This is the
The palace
kanji.
turned into such a dream world of art that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai. The samurai became organized and powerful, more powerful than the government. So they made their own military government. Here, they let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control. Breaking
Shogun.
news, the Mongols have invaded China.
We've invaded China.
Said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for
The
war,
rise of
and
the
died in a
swords.
tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in
Wow.
a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows
They
the
weren't
shogun,
ready.
and the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine. Now there's more art. Like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid. So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it gonna be? Vote now on your phones.
Oh no.
But it's so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun
my
actually didn't care.
goodness.
He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local power, and it's
Yo, he
anybody's game.
stopped being a
Knock,
monk
knock,
to
it's
have a
Europe.
child.
No, they're not here to take
Yeah.
over.
It
They
should
just
be
want to
his
sell some
son.
shit, like clocks and guns and Jesus. So that's cool, but everyone's still fighting each other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one controlling them?
Oh,
This clan is ready to make a run for it, but first they have to trample this smaller clan, which is in the way. Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital. And it goes very well. He's about halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him kills them.
It's
And
like
that
that
guy
gang
finishes
war.
conquering Japan. And then he confiscated everybody's swords and made some rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the five guys said, yeah, right. It's not going to be this kid.
I
It's
knew
gonna be
it.
one of us. 'cause
I
we're
knew
grown-ups.
Wow.
it.
And
I
it's
knew that
probably
was
going to be
going
this
to
guy who
happen.
happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others.
Ah,
A lot of people
Tokugawa, I know
A lot
it.
of people support not supporting him.
Like, not
they have a fight,
personally.
and he wins and starts a new government right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor and have very nice things. But don't get confused. This is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they closed the country. No one can leave and no one can come in.
This is like a
Except for
true
the Dutch.
Game of
They don't buy and
Thrones.
sell shit, but they have to do it right here. Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read, books were
Nice.
published, there was
Wow.
poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows, and
What?
Dutch studies. People started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe
Wow.
even electricity. Over time, the economic
That's
and cultural
nice.
prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock, knock. It's the United States.
It's America.
Boats,
No, man.
gunboats. Open
Gunboats.
country. Stop having it be closed. said the United
Stop
States.
having it
There's really
closed.
nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime
Oh
they want.
my goodness.
Choshu and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they said. This sucks. And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the shogunate and somehow made the emperor again and moved him to Edo, which they renamed the
Verified.
Eastern capital. They made a new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what
Whoa.
else is Western? That's
What?
right, it's conquering stuff. So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China,
Oh, wow.
and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says, stop, no, you can't take that. We were going to build a railroad through here to try to get some more water. And Russia builds their railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the railroad was done, they downgraded to a fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And Japan says, can you maybe chill? And Russia says, how about maybe you chill? Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop. It's time for World War I. The world is about to have a war because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on it by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or actually shot him in the head. And
Europe.
Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh, Japan should take the islands. Which they wanted to do anyway, so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know. And then they did it. And they also helped Britain a little here and there with some errands and stuff.
Oh,
Now the
interesting.
war is over, and congratulations, Japan. You technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission statement is to try not to take over the world. The Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. And the League of Nations is like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said, how about I do anyway? And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've
Oh,
got mail.
wow.
It's from Germany, the new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache, and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends. This also got forwarded to Italy. They all decided to be friends because they had so much in common. It's time for World War II. Germany is invading the neighbors. Then they invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors. Britain said, holy shit. And the United States started helping Britain because they are good friends, and started not helping Japan because they're friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean. The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb ever.
That's a
in
dark
case.
time.
But they still haven't joined the war. War looks bad on TV, and the United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war. And they say yes. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany. And they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works. So they drop it on Japan.
Bro.
They actually drop two.
Oh. Okay, this got really dark.
1 minute. 1 minute
The
of
United States
silence.
installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. and Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders as fast as they can, and also better than
Nintendo.
everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess.
Okay, it's
So wait,
over.
that's the end? What?
That was
Okay.
very,
That was very fast.
okay, that was a very abrupt ending, but
Yeah.
well, good thing the war is over, the Nazis are gone, and well, Japan got to reconstruct their society and their cities.
Yeah,
And
Japan is
wow.
like a leading technological, one of the leading economies in technology also nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. And bro, the thing about this is it's so fast paced. This is a legend creator on YouTube, Bill Wurtz. I wonder why I think he stopped making videos, or does he still make these type of videos? But it's
I don't
so
know.
dynamic. It's very nice. And I can imagine
and
that.
so cool. He has a visual identity and a way of telling the story that
Yeah.
it's really how can I say, it's very exciting, and
Yeah, it's
so
very
it's
fast
interesting,
paced.
it's fun. Yeah,
And I mentioned this before, but I think this is like the best type of video for ADHD. So people who have attention deficit disorder, they would really appreciate this type of dynamic teaching, because I learned a lot in that like 9-minute video. Of
Yeah,
course,
actually
I would have to
watch
take
this
notes.
again.
Yes, of course, I would have to take notes. But still, the idea, it was entertaining. And bro, we were watching history, an educational video about the history of Japan, and it was fun.
You know what?
The elevations were so nice. I like that. I like that.
I don't know about you, but back in school, I wasn't really fond of history.
I hated history.
It was very boring to me.
Yeah.
But when I grew up and I started to research history and the things that happened, then I was like, wow, this is actually very interesting. Getting to know history and the things that happen, it's actually very cool and very interesting.
And
But I don't
important as
know,
well.
Yeah, and important as well. So, I mean, what's with the school system that makes history so boring?
I know, right? I know. I don't know why they do that. Like as a teacher myself, I always try to get into the personality of my students, like try to be interested in what they're interested in. I'm an English teacher, so the best students that I have are the ones who kind of like they integrate their hobbies into the language. So that's they learn very fast when they do that. So for example, if they want to learn English, then they love watching a movie or something like that. I normally integrate that into their studies. So some people actually learn watching movies, playing video games and stuff like that. So I think that's the way to go with education.
Yeah,
Great.
I believe that's the way every school should be doing. Like,
And we
not
haven't
making
evolved any of the school system, right? It's been years and decades since we have the same type of educational system.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness YouTube is here, right? YouTube has changed that a lot.
Yeah, and good people making good content about stuff that happens in history. And well,
Yeah. Shout out to Bill Wurtz or Wurtz. Bill Wurtz.
Bill Wurtz.
And guys, if you have any other videos like this that are dynamic, fun, entertaining, let us know. And there's another video, which is a longer video called The History of the Entire World, which is also, you know what?
Yeah.
I actually went on GPT and I asked, what's a good video for me to react to? I did that kind of like I was researching, and that video was recommended by AI. That's how I found that video, and I reacted to it on my channel. AI, bro, told me that was the best video. It's crazy.
Okay, that was crazy.
Anyways, guys, we're going to the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member, or you can send a super chat, super thanks, and request a video of your own, or you can go to buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. There's many ways you can support the channel, or just like, subscribe, comment, you know, the whole shebang. I'll see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game.